Welcome to this Swagelok how-to video. Here's what you'll need to perform the procedure shown in this brief video. 2 open-ended wrenches, a Swagelok gap inspection gauge, a marker. A vise is optional. A port connector consists of a machine ferrule connection on one end and a tube adapter connection on the opposite end. It is designed to complement the tube fitting end connection to allow fitting-to-fitting connections. This video focuses on the manual assembly of the under 1-inch port connector. Connect the machined ferrule end before connecting the tube adapter end. Remove the nut and ferrules from the Swagelok end connection. Discard the ferrules. Slip the nut over the machined ferrule end of the port connector. Insert the port connector into the end connection and finger tighten the nut. While holding the fitting body steady, tighten the nut 1/4 turn. For 1/16, 1/8, and 3/16 inch and 2, 3, and 4 millimeter port connectors, tighten the nut 1/8 turn. Do not use the Swagelok gap inspection gauge with machine ferrule ends. To assemble the tube adapter end, first insert the tube adapter until it rests firmly on the shoulder of the Swagelok tube fitting body. Finger tighten the nut. Mark the nut at the 6 o'clock position. While holding the fitting body steady, tighten the nut 1 1/4 turns to the 9 o'clock position. For 1/16, 1/8, and 3/16 inch and 2, 3, and 4 millimeter tube fittings, tighten the nut 3/4 turn to the 3 o'clock position. The tube adapter end for the 1-inch and under are gaugeable using the Swagelok gap inspection gauge. A Swagelok gap inspection gauge assures the installer or inspector that the fitting has been sufficiently tightened. To use the gauge, position it next to the gap between the nut and the body. If the gauge will not enter the gap, the fitting is sufficiently tightened. If the gauge will enter the gap, then additional tightening is required. One of the benefits of using Swagelok tube fittings and port connectors is their ability to be disassembled and reassembled many times while retaining the leak-tight seal. Always depressurize the system before disassembling a Swagelok port connector. For the tube adapter end, prior to disassembly, mark a line along the nut and fitting body flats. Use these marks to ensure that you return the nut to the previously pulled up position. Insert the tube with pre-swaged ferrules into the fitting until the front ferrule seats against the fitting body. While holding the fitting body steady, rotate the nut with a wrench to the previously pulled up position, as indicated by the marks on the tube and flats. At this point, you will feel a significant increase in resistance. Tighten the nut slightly. For the machined ferrule end of a Swagelok port connector, make subsequent connections by slightly tightening with a wrench after tightening the nut by hand. Do not use the Swagelok gap inspection gauge with reassembled fittings. Also, do not mix or interchange parts with those of other manufacturers. Visit Swagelok.com for additional product information. Thank you for watching. We will continue to develop videos like this to help you get the job done. Get more information by watching our other videos or by contacting your authorized sales and service center.